Hello, students. Children, for class 11th, I'm going to describe a beautiful chapter where you will going to find a lot of interest into it as the story is a science fiction. And I know that today's generation is very much fascinated towards the science and the technology and the changes made. Now, let us understand first about the writer. The adventure is written by Jayant Narlikar. Jayant Narlikar was astrophysicist. He was worked with leading international scientists of his generation. Real science, not fantasy or mythology, informs his work. That means he completely believes onto the real science, no fiction, no mythology, nothing. A Padma Vibhushan lecturer, Narlikar has keen interest in writing and he has written several fictions and non-fiction books. Fiction, a created story, and he was a very good interest in writing these stories. That is why he has written this story, The Adventure also. The protagonist is a person who's called as the main character of the story. The professor, Guy Conde, is looking forward to make public record of cheering 1000 public fictions. It means he wanted to complete his 1000 writing of the fictions. However, he had a catastrophic incident before this, and as a result, he had an experience of living in alternate world. Guy Conde's friend Rajendra, Rajendra rationalizes his condition on the basis of theories of science. And then, how does the story develops? What happens? How he write the story? What is there in the story? Let's understand that. There is an important line given that Professor Gaikonde meets Rajendra and narrates his experience to him. He wanted to know the reason of his queer behavior. And then both of them had a discussion, right? And later he wanted to narrate the story so that he could understand it right from the beginning. He started the narration. It was a moonless night in December. Why moonless? Due to the fog, due to the mist. Sometimes, especially in the month of December and January, you do not find moon in the sky. It is hidden somewhere behind the behind the mist. A burst of cool breeze from the window was enough to disturb the sleep of Indrani Devi. Who's Indrani Devi? You're just going to find it out. Half awake, she felt for the adjoining pillow. She's half awake. Why? Due to that cold, due to that wind which is breezing. And she looked for the adjoining pillow, although she knew the answer, Datta was not there. And Datta Sahib, the husband of Indrani ji, he was not there, and she knew it that he is not there, probably. Again, she glanced at the door by way of confirmation. It was left ajar. And she just looked at the door to confirm herself, and it was open a bit. Ajar? A bit. So he has gone to. This is honor because she belongs to Datta, and the way it has written the name and all, you can understand that maybe she belongs to Calcutta, and that is why the slang has a change and owner is written in this manner. So he has gone to owner with Risht Dibya. Who's Dibya? You'll come to know about it excitingly. At least he might have bothered to close the door. Even as she muttered her complaints, Indrani Devi could not repress her smile. She could not resist. She's complaining about it that yes, he has again gone to meet Dibya. He's again with Dibya. But still, she could not control over her smile. She knew how utterly obvious her husband was to the practical problems of living. And she knew it that he can't resist, he has to go. She was very much aware that he will definitely go to meet Dibya. Don't his doctor tell him to take special precautions against the cold? And like a loving mother, like a caring wife, like a caring and loving sister. You know what do? They keep on cribbing you, they keep on scolding you, and they will going to definitely take care of you. Now she is also cribbing that doctor has asked him to take the precautions and he's still not taking, but he won't remember to put on a sweater even if it is lying on his bedside chair. A sweater was there lying on the bedside chair, but still he has not taken the sweater. How cared he when Dibya had put her spell on him? Or then she says, why would he remember to wear the sweater? Because Dibya has put a spell on him. He would not think anything about him. She picked up the white woolen pullover, wrapped herself into a shawl, and made her way to the roof to break up his tia with Dibya. What is tia? That is eye contact. She found them both huddled together, eye to eye. At least Datta was looking into Dibya's eyes. And yes, as per expectation, everything was same. Dattaji was looking in the eyes of Dibya and they were together eye to eye. Expressed in inches, Dibya's vital satisfaction were like her statics is saying that it was around 8.64, approx 8 inches focal length, 64 inches. That they were with this distance. Who are they? Let's understand. When Dattada acquired his telescope, so whose telescope? Dibya. Dibya is who? The telescope, not any girl. When Dattada acquires his telescope, he was so thrilled that he called it Dibya Chakshu, divine eyes. And because Dattada is very fond of looking into the sky, noticing the stars, and noticing the process going into the he's fond of. But she calls the telescope Dibya. Now, as an immature astronomer, he had longed for enough money to buy a good telescope with which to observe the heavens and for enough spare time. And whenever he gets the time, he has a very good telescope. He just spent time looking towards the heavenly bodies. He got them both when he retired with ample money. And he has bought that when he retired with plenty of money with him. The telescope was duly installed, and long were the dark night that Datta spent in stargazing. At least Indrani Devi thought so. And then telescope was duly installed, and long were. Like that means his desire was to spend nights that Dattada were spending gazing, looking towards the sky. Here, put on his sweater. Who's saying? Indrani ji is saying to Dattada that here is the sweater, wear it. Or do you want Nabeen Babu to order bed rest tomorrow? Then who's Nabeen Babu? The doctor. Or do you want the doctor to come and ask you to have a bed rest? Dattada put on sweater and turns back to his telescope. Although Indrani knew that her remarks would fall on deaf ears, she could not help a repeat. Same old stars, same old stars. If Dattada had heard this remark, he would not have been able to counter it. Why does a music lover like to listen to the same old raga being sung again and again? Why does an art connoisseur stare at the same old picture for so long? But Dattada knew that the spread above him wasn't the same always. So that means because Dattada loves looking at the stars, he loves to notice the heavenly bodies, and that is why he keep on spending hours on that. But whereas Indrani ji, wife of him, is a good taking, is a lover is a wife. She takes care of each and everything. So that is why she just want him that he should take proper rest, that too into such a cold weather. She makes a comment and asks him that you should not see it again and again. Why are you watching the same stars again and again? But she knew it, but that whatever she going to say, that will not make any difference to him. As she's already said, that my words will going to fall only onto the deaf ears. The spread does change because the earth goes round the sun, which itself changes its position. Why? Even the pole star is not fixed. And how about planets and their satellites wandering across the same old star? And comets. Now, things doesn't change, they remain the same. We all know these facts, but still we know that there are so many people who keep finding out, the astrologers who keep on working onto it, who keep on finding out the rotations, who keep on finding out the changes. They're always interested to know these changes. They always are ready to know the find that how, what, when, where is working. But for Dibyata, she thinks that everything is same. Then why does he spend time? Comets, like every other amateur astronomer, Dattada had the secret ambition that he would one day discover a new comet. And he wanted to discover a new comet. That is why he was spending hours. For comets can be new, coming as they do form the remote corner of the solar system. Like planets, comets also orbit around the sun, but their orbits are highly eccentric. So you are learning a bit of science also here. So once in a while, comet comes close to the sun, has a longish tail that is lit brightly by the sunlight, and then it recedes into darkness, not to be seen again for years. Now, what happens later between Dibyata and for centuries and Dattada? How will he be able to find the comet? Will he be able to fulfill his dream? What kind of interaction they're going to have? We'll continue with tomorrow. Thank you, children.